Hey everybody, welcome to Riding with Josh. I'm Josh, and today it's time to change the oil in my Suzuki V-Strom 1000. Let's get to it. Today I'll be using the Valvoline 10W40 full synthetic and the K&N oil filter 138. I already rode the bike this morning, so the oil is up to temperature, make it drain easier. First thing to do is remove the skid plate. To remove the skid plate, you need a 4mm Allen wrench and a 10mm wrench. Now that I've got all the nuts off the backs of these, we can drop down the skid plate, move it out of the way, and that frees up room to where we can access the oil filter. She's a bit dirty, so got some soap and water. And I'm going to spray it down. Then I got my wife's toothbrush. We're going to clean it. Alright, we got everything cleaned up around it. Now we'll come under here. That's your drain plug. And it's going to take a 17mm socket or wrench to remove. Alright, I got my drain pan ready. I got my 17mm. I've already broken it free for the most part. So, let's get this under here. Let's unscrew a little bit more. There we go. Alright. Alright, there she goes. And after I do that, I like to open this so that way it drains better. Just in my opinion. It might be me being picky, but she's a draining. Now we'll use the 17mm on the oil filter and break it loose. Alright, let's get this off. It shouldn't be on there tight at all whenever you put an oil filter on. You should put it on, we'll get to that earlier, but you shouldn't crank these things down hard. That was very easy to break loose. And there goes that oil. I apologize, guys. I'm in my apartment complex. Happened at the worst time. Alright. The initial gush out of the oil filter was done. Take it off and drain the rest. Let that drain. We'll get back to you when it's done. Alright, unpackage the new oil filter. Take a little bit of oil from the pan and rub it on the ring. That way it's already lubricated. Normally I'd put oil in it already, but because it's at an angle, not really the best thing to do. So installing the oil filter, we'll bring you over here. So we're going to thread it in. Thread. until it touches. Okay, it touched and it's starting to become a little bit stiff. I'm going to remember that part number is right there. I'm going to get my 17 millimeter and I'm going to go one full rotation from the point of contact and it's starting to get stiff. Right there. That was one full rotation. That part number's right back there. That's as tight as it needs to go. Alright, I cleaned off the drain plug and put the new gasket on. Screw it in. Now whenever I do that, same thing. I'm going to screw it in until it makes contact and starts to get a little bit snug. Okay, right there. You don't have to tighten these things down super hard. You just need to tighten it. So what I did, hang on, let's let this car pass. Okay, it's gone. So what I did is I hand put it in there with my fingers, screwed it in till it made contact and just started to get stiff, and then I did about a little more than a quarter turn on it for the snugness, and that's all it needs to be. You don't have to crank them down. Now we have the drain plug back in and the new oil filter on. It's time to add oil, but unfortunately I forgot my funnel at work, so we'll see how good my pour game is. After one whole quart, you still don't have anything in your sight gauge. 2 quarts in and you still don't see any oil. We'll start to see it on this third one. Alright, we have oil in the sight gauge now. Remember, this is empty. So now that we have a safe enough level in here, I'm going to start the engine and let it run for about 10 seconds just to get oil into here, and then I'll stop and then fill it up the rest of the way. Okay, after that 10-second run and about 10 minutes of sitting, the bike now, as you can see through the oil sight, you can't see the oil anymore that we could see earlier, and that's because it went into the oil filter. Now we can add oil and fill it the rest of the way up and have an accurate level. Now it's full. Oil change complete. I'll clean up, reinstall the skid plate, and she's ready to ride. Well, everybody, that's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, please give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Everybody ride safe. We'll see you in the next video.